Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. I hate this camera. Um, good morning, Debo. Good morning, Jermaine.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So as we get our graphics together, yesterday was Ash Wednesday, and I um, didn't even talk about it. It's beginning. If you're a Christian, it's beginning of the Lent season, 40 days. It's you should fast. Fasting means normally in that it's more Catholic tradition. You give up something. It might be chocolate. It might be smoking. It might be whatever it is that you give up something for the 40 days of Lent, leading up to the crucifixion and the resurrection. So for all of you Christians, all of us Christians out here, happy Lent season. And then let me say Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan started yesterday. That's 30 days of fasting for Muslims throughout the world. And so to my Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan Mubarak as you go through your 30-day fast. It's not going to be too bad, because you fast from sun up to sundown.
I know Byron started yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Byron's Muslim?
Yes, he practices. Yes.
Okay. Right. Well, Ramadan Mubarak, Byron, to all the folks that we know and all the Muslims.
No, act like you can't be interrupted. I'm trying to take care of your people.
Damn. Oh, man. Boy. Damn. So good morning. I never really never really liked the book Green Eggs and Ham.
Sale!
I tell people, I said all the time, you'll live your sermons, right? You'll live your preached sermons. And Sunday, I reminded people that you can be angry, but to sin not. Don't let anybody move you off your square. Every day. Every day.
You know what really got to me was that was totally unprovoked, though, Keith. Just out of the blue. Yeah, that sounded like one of Keith Parris's sermons.
Well, see, actually, I started to feel the spirit a little bit when we got towards the end.
And it made you think we want to keep sermons.
And here's what's amazing. He's never heard me preach.
Right. Well, no, that ain't true. Well, yeah, it is true. I heard you give a little synopsis at Keon's funeral, and he actually did a good job. Like, he did a great job. So that's why I actually asked when he gonna preach, because I want to show up, because just in case if you need me to slide in on the organ on him, I can, put it in his key and he can go ahead and tune up.
They got what a name.
Let me do this. Do I need to stand up so you can see the full?
Actually, you could stand it. That'd be fine.
You got the front and the back?
No. Okay, hang on. Let me focus on your midsection there. Cecil Williams, huh?
Cecil Williams, 1956. That photograph there. This is from. I think Actively Black should be reaching out to me to be one of their spokespersons, because my wife has got me just all this gear from Actively Black.
So you got to order it off the website?
Yeah.
So it's not in the stores?
I don't know. I think it was online.
Yeah, because I've never seen it. I know it's definitely.
Cecil Williams is he's still alive. He is a Black man who oh man, I can't hold on, man. Okay. Is this it? Yeah. Cecil Williams, he took this photograph in 1956 in South Carolina. You can see that it says white only. He's drinking from a white only fountain. Now he looks like the kid from Blackish, don't he? he look he looked like Junior. Yeah, he and so he's a photographer. He's a photographer. I mean, it was fascinating his background. His brother, when he was like 10 years old, had gotten a camera, one of those brownies. That's what they used to call those cameras, little brown Kodaks. They were brownies, and he just fell in love with photography. And I mean, he was a chronicler of all these major events. He ended up forging a relationship with John F. Kennedy when he was running for president in 1960. One of the few photographers that was allowed to travel with the Kennedy entourage. He has taken pictures just throughout, like I say, throughout the world. He was a photographer when he was a teenager for Jet. And so, but this is iconic in terms of him drinking at this white only fountain. It wasn't that long ago, folks, that our apartheid system was in full view and fully enforced. And so Cecil Williams, we recognize him today. My understanding, Michelle was just telling me that when Actively Black did their runway show, that he was part of it. And I guess he came out in one of these hoodies. And so, again, let me thank Rhonda Taylor Parris for all of my militant wear. I got some T-shirts, man, that are really provocative. So here it is, Mr. Cecil Williams. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Good morning. This is Kathy?
Yeah, this is. If y'all do a good job and keep up the good work for this year. Michelle, you really performed this morning. You told us all about the history of Africa and their named Black people and from Africa. Between you and Sherman and Keith, y'all really ought to get an award. I know Sherman from the other states, y'all ought to get an award. Y'all like an encyclopedia. I'm not kidding you. So that being said, I didn't hear anyone mention, and I turned on later in the day this morning, that Jesse Jackson events, and what they're going to do is all on you can look online for that. They have 3 or 4 different services and times that people can come down and walk through and visit or go to the service. So it's posted. You just look it up, Jesse Jackson services, and they have it all listed for people. But what I'm going to be doing is probably taking a van down. So if anyone has my number and know how to get a hold of me, if I'm interested in going, I'm going to try to go one of those days. It'll probably be Wednesday, the first day. So if anyone want to look that information up and go down there, they can, but I didn't hear anyone mention that at all about its services at all. But it's free, open to the public. They have a couple of days. It's line-in days, 2 days, and they have other services and the People's Day. So if anyone's interested, give me a call. They can get a hold of Michelle or somebody and get my number. I think Keith has my number. But y'all do an excellent job on this radio station. I was just amazed how much information was shared. Like she said, in 2 minutes, you can look it up instead of calling and making up stuff because you're not educated right in that process. And that's what I do. I'll look up something. I'm not the smartest thing on the block, but I think I can put it all together at one point where I'll learn from other people. So you guys need to give a Black Excellent Awards from me on the radio here. You do a good job. And Keith, one thing for me is when the nurses come on, could you please, I'll take you to lunch, could you please let the nurses talk a little bit? Get them more time to talk.
Yeah, they changed their schedule now. It's every first Tuesday of the month. So
once a month?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I really want to.
Tuesday we had people all in the chat like, where are the nurses? Where are the nurses? Like, oh man.
So what do you have on Tuesday?
And you can go to Rainbow Push, their website. All that information is there. Facebook, they're putting it out in terms of arrangements. Michelle read the funeral and all the different events they have going on. Now, the House of Hope, is that Salem Church? Yeah, that's huge.
I have to look it up again because the Channel 12, I think it was 12 talked about it earlier this morning. I looked it up and they had several places and they have the exact addresses where you go. So I'm not familiar with pretty much any of them. House of, what do they call the House of?
House of Hope.
Yeah, House of Hope that was listed. It was another place, and they listed a church.
And I think also their headquarters there in Chicago too is there. I think he's going to be
Rainbow
lying.
Push.
Yeah, I think he's going to be lying in state. So and then
Right, 2 days, and it starts early in the morning. But if anyone knows of any vans or buses going down, let me know. But I could probably take a few people down. I'm going to go down. I'm thinking I'm going to take a vacation day and go on Wednesday. I'm not real sure, but I'm not sure if the next couple of days I'll have to talk with somebody if they're going to have him or you can see him the day of the service or not, which is probably pretty packed, which I wouldn't go that day no way. Black Excellence Awards is that weekend. But everything's early in the daytime up to about 6 o'clock. There's a day they got into 10 to 9, but people can go, like I said, go on the website and check that out. Just in honor of him and, helping out on political campaigns. I just felt that I needed to kind of make myself go down there just to feel, with the crowd, the family, a certain way. And I remember too, when I was younger, he helped out with a airline, and the pilot was hanging out the window, white guy with a flag or something, and Jesse Jackson went over there to help defuse things and stuff, and he got them from hijacking that plane. He talked with the people. I think it was a Middle Eastern country. You remember
Syria.
that?
I think it happened in Syria.
Like Lockerbie, Scotland, something like that. Was that it?
No, Lockerbie was the plane was blown up. I think this happened in Syria, where there was an American pilot who just happened to be black, who got shot down, and he went in and he got him. He was able to negotiate. Yeah.
Right. There's a black pilot that got shot.
Yeah. His got shot down, and he was being held captive. It's thanks, Kathy. I didn't realize they had interviewed me at Spectrum, and I forgot that I had interviewed Reverend Jackson a couple of times. Yeah, when we was at GOB, I had forgot all about that. Yeah. So
I mean, you don't have it in your archives?
No, it just hit me where, oh yeah, I did have, and again, the conversations that you had. I think the last time again I saw Reverend Jackson was at McGovern Park, and I think that was 2024. There was a Get Out the Vote rally. I don't know if that's the one where Wes Moore was here. No, Wes Moore was down at
Talking about the governor?
Yeah, Wes Moore, Maryland. He was down at Lapham Carver. I'm sorry. Can I do this? Because I do have a guest coming in at 10. I was watching my guy Shermichael last night, and he was on Abby Phillips' show, and boy, Abby got to do a better job of controlling her guests because they just talk over each other. You can't hear anything. The whole point, and the Republicans are real good at when you start making a point, they'll go and micro point it and point out. And so Shermichael was upset because he said that someone was saying that the Republican Party supports Donald Trump and therefore they support his policies and many of his racist policies. Shermichael goes, no, you trying to say that 50% of the American population is racist? Yeah, it's a low number. It's a low number. Yeah, it could be a little bit higher. And but this idea that people are telling you don't believe your experiences is George Orwell. It's like, so this whole question of yesterday at the White House for Black History Month, Donald Trump he did his Black History Month celebration. And boy, I'm gonna tell you, and I gotta be careful because I say this and I have to be a practitioner that what I preach, that you do not demonize the person, but you certainly go after the person's positions. But I'm gonna tell you, and I know George is listening, sometimes that's hard. Because you want to look at these folks and go, Negro, please. So he was able to trot out these black folks who just went on and on and on. And the only two things that they could point to that he did for black people was enterprise zones, something that actually started with Jack Kemp back in the 80s, something where Republicans would not really, they figured that, oh, the come up of black people should be through business. And if we can just come in and do these tax-free zones where black people can go and start business, where the reality was those enterprise zones were usually filled by white folks coming in, taking advantage of the tax breaks you got for investing in these enterprise zones. And then he said support for HBCUs. I want to throw this question out. And you all, please, please, please be part of the conversation. Just because you can trot out black people that you know, just because you can cite that when Jesse Jackson was looking for space, he was able, one of the few black people you would rent to was Jesse Jackson. Does that mean that the person is not racist? You know, this idea that some of my best friends are black does not exonerate you from your racist policies. I just saw an article this morning in the Washington Post. And I think this is in the Post. Yeah. And I had, you know, the question and that had Shermeka going off was, well, if you say he's not racist, then what's with the anti-DEI programs, right? Why are you going up and corporations are acquiescent and they're giving in because they're fearful that he's going to take away funding, or there's other things that they're trying to do. And so we've just seen since he's been in office where it used to be, I know McDonald's has not done their Black History, what, 365/7? You know, they just talked about how, you know, they just support black people, and people are pulling back on these DEI initiatives. And so this morning there was an article, it says in the Washington Post, colleges quietly cut ties with organizations that help people of color. I'll say it again. Colleges quietly cut ties with organizations that help people of color. Read you some excerpts from this article. The Trump administration's objection to the program that helps people of color pursue doctorate degrees has prompted colleges to cut ties with a range of organizations associated with racial minority groups, a post-investigation has found. Since last year, more than 100 schools had ended partnerships with the PhD Project, a group founded in 1994 to diversify the pipeline of students who aspire to become business school professors. That came after the U.S. Department of Education last March announced probes into 45 universities that partnered with the group. More than a dozen of those schools have quietly reached agreements with the administration to resolve the investigations. As part of the pacts, the universities promised to identify partnerships with any organization that may restrict participation based on race. I'll say it again. Any organization that may restrict participation based on race, and either sever those relationships or explain why they won't, according to documents obtained by the Post. The California State University system, for instance, told the federal government that one of the campus's plans to cut ties with the Links Incorporated, a national volunteer service group historically composed of black women. Clemson University said it ended its relationship with Field Inclusion, a group that supports biologists and researchers from marginalized groups because it offers discounted membership to people of color. And the University of Kentucky said it flagged the 1,200 memberships of participation for cancellation or deeper review because the groups might restrict participation based on race. It's terrible, said Will Dale Pilar, Senior Vice President with Education Trust, an advocacy group focused on gaps in education for low-income and minority students. Groups like the PhD Project and others help provide a pathway into universities and create a sense of belonging for a group that has historically been left out, Dale Pilar said. There's no evidence that students from other racial or ethnic backgrounds lose access or opportunity, he said. Some conservative advocates praised the Trump administration for pushing schools to stop supporting groups that they say discriminate against white people. and other racial groups. Programs that target specific racial demographics are intended to exclude others, said Nicole Neely, president of Defending Education, an organization that's filed several civil rights complaints against schools for offering scholarships for students of color. The Education Department investigated PhD project, which has helped 1,800 Black, Latino, or Native American scholars earn doctorates in business for more than 3 decades, because the agency said the group limited participation at a past conference to students who identified as Black and or African American, Latino and or Hispanic, or Native American and or Canadian Indigenous. The project said it has since opened its conference to students of any race interested in the business doctoral program. But after signing settlement agreements with the Trump administration, colleges have since flagged additional groups. And again, they just go on. The relationship with the links, and I know several women who are part of the links here. So my question is, how are you telling me that you're not racist? What part of this am I missing? I just, so somebody help me. And here, if I do not speak out against something that is wrong, then my quiescence is then de facto agreement with what people are doing. If there are Black Republicans who say that they stand with the Republican Party, but won't call out the Republican Party and its racist approaches to education, to the military, to education, then you're part of it. You can't, you're being silent. And now I was listening to Otis Moss III, and he does a 5-minute thing where he does a 5-minute, basically political commentary. And he was saying that evangelicals, white evangelicals, need to get a backbone. I was watching a video of I'm assuming he's a white evangelical preacher in North Carolina. Huge church is packed. And he got up, and here's why he went after Donald Trump. He went after Donald Trump because Donald Trump cusses. Oh, okay. So Donald Trump cusses. And he said that his whole administration, everybody in cusses. He said maybe the exception of 2 people who said that they're born again Christians. He said, but everybody else cuss. Okay. I got that. We had that discussion yesterday whether or not people should use profanity. But the real profanity is the policies that are negatively impacting marginalized people in America. Then he went on to say, and he cites where Paul says that there is neither Greek nor Jew. He said there ain't no such thing as a Black church. I was at one Sunday. So I felt like it was a Black church. I had Kendi on Sunday. That really felt Black to me. And everybody I looked out in the congregation was Black. So what? So now we get to, okay, and here's why I get exhausted with this concept of having the conversation about race. We no longer need to have the conversation about race. What we need to do is tangibly address the issues of race and racial discrimination and the remnants of America's apartheid, even today in 2026. No, we don't have white only, but you have policies that's directed. EEOC is doing commercials saying, hey, if you're a white male and you've been discriminated against, give us a call. But what if you're a Black male? What if you're a white female? What if you're an indigenous male? Y'all got to help me because I'm feeling like Reverend Earl Simmons right now. I'm about to lose my mind. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. Y'all don't know the Earl Simmons posthumously, that's DMX for y'all to know, was posthumously ordained as an AME minister. Yep. You're listening to Community Voice Caller. I see you. I'm going to grab you right after the break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Caller, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I was just chilling, really laughing at what you were saying, though. But I'm a regular listener. All I got to say, Mr. Ride Out,
Yes,
we
sir.
know your woman be calling in, checking in
There
on
you
you
go.
every day, checking trap.
There you go. That ain't my woman.
Everybody, the regular listeners know it. Hey, that ain't no secret.
No, it's a secret, Doc. That ain't me.
They're all gonna
Yes,
laugh.
it is.
No,
Yes,
sir.
it is.
They're
Hey,
all
she be
gonna laugh
checking
at
in. You better get this man,
They're all
GB.
gonna laugh at
No way, Jack. No
She be
way.
checking in on you, bro. Hey,
He didn't tell you about that song he
that
sung
cat's
at the
out the
show.
bag a long time.
Angela, Angela.
Let me hang up. I'm just messing. I'm
Man,
being
why you
messy
call,
today.
man? Why you call, brother?
I know it. You ain't let me back in.
Did you write that second verse of the song you wrote? Jermaine?
Man, what you talking about, Jack?
Angela, Angela. She just blows my mind, one of a kind. Woo-wee. Now, what's the next verse? Who's that? Angela.
Okay, let me do this before. Now,
You got to call her.
It's a disclaimer.
I'll do it for you, kid.
caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Keith.
Good morning, Angela.
Oh,
Right out.
oh boy, here we go. Yes, ma'am.
You right, I ain't your woman, but what's wrong with me if I was? Because you know I'm fine as hell. Chickens and Snickers.
I'm fighting to the finish.
Yeah. Now,
Well,
I'm
well,
thicker than the Snickers, and you know I'm fine as hell.
well,
And I'll never wear knockoffs.
well,
All my stuff is name brand, you understand?
well, you know, Miss Angela, you know, I believe that you are beautiful. And you got a great heart, and I just believe that all black women are beautiful. So I do got to give you a hand clap for that.
Thank you, sir. But all
done?
you listeners know I am not his woman. We are just real good friends.
Y'all done?
And I just tease him every day. That's all it is. That's my friend.
All right.
And we don't owe y'all no explanation.
Yeah,
And
you
good
do because
morning,
you all
Keith.
in this public airspace. So, yeah.
Keith, good morning, Keith.
You say yes, you do.
Yes, you do. I mean,
How
you know,
doing, Keith?
I'm doing good. Now, you know, for both of you, this tape can be used for evidence.
Yeah, man. Listen here,
What
man.
day are you gonna be bringing him
Hey,
his
hold,
cookies?
hold on, man. I need to put a clarification on here.
What day are you gonna be bringing your cookies up?
I
here,
didn't
Jermaine?
order any cookies, brother. I'm laying
You
off
sure
of the
did.
chocolate. I'm laying off of all of the sweets because
Well, you
I'm getting in
can't
summer
be.
fine.
Uh-oh. She said
You
you
can't
can't.
be laying off the sweets
Why is that, Miss Angela?
because of who I am.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Mm.
Lord have mercy, Jesus is a fire. It's a fire.
Goodbye, you guys.
All right, speaking of sweets,
Lord have
you know when God, let me broach this in a diplomatic way. You know when your homilist will get up and they're doing all of the acknowledgments, and you obviously acknowledge the angel of the house, the pastor, board, leadership, and then they have these like cute little nicknames for their wives,
Yeah.
and then 3 weeks later they get divorced.
They hate him.
Yeah.
First
But
you
when
love
she
them.
was talking and just talking about how sweet, you know, my nickname for Rhonda is Candy Yams.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So where did that come from? Like
In Living
her?
Color.
Oh,
The head detective.
Oh yeah, head
Remember his girlfriend was Candy Yams.
had to text him. I remember that. Yeah.
And his girlfriend was Candy Yams. So,
Yeah.
Colin, welcome to the program.
Oh, you a
Good
fool.
morning.
Oh,
Good morning, bro.
What's happening?
you're a fool for
Man, when Rydell called me, I said, okay, brother, just put me through, man. Enough for the love connection, brother.
the love boats.
I'm like, I swear I called WNOV, not the love connection.
Nah, you stupid.
1-800 got love.
I thought it was what was that shit? What on the date?
Shanae and Ken play.
Yeah.
That ain't how you drink a 40.
You drink it like this.
You gotta take it to the head.
That boy said, I'm a lady.
I'm a lady.
Shanae Jenkins.
No.
Shanae Jenkins. Somebody
you a
posted
dude.
on Facebook yesterday. One of my friends on Facebook, she posted the Reverend Leon Lottie Love.
No.
Gotta feel it.
I can't get on now.
No,
Holy Ghost.
no, but the
told
funny
me.
one is when Pam and Martin was married and they went to the island.
Oh, yeah, we came to the island
And he was like-
to get divorced.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh no, y'all need to show me some affection, kiss each other."
So my thing is, so
Love.
why does Trump, no matter what it is, we're talking about Jesse Jackson, and you gotta put Obama in there for some reason. Come on, man. Does he live rent free? How much does he pay in your head? Because anything got to do with black folks, he has to have Obama going on out of his mouth. Dude is super jealous of that dude. Like it's almost 10 years now. You still jealous?
And you know
Like,
what? And Obama,
come on, fam.
and Obama just smooth. They said at the All-Star game wasn't a boo.
Oh yeah.
They said wasn't a boo.
No, because they listen. I think sometimes they're trying to throw the ball over there to give him a handshake. Hey, because I'm telling you, that's how his presence is. People be like, "Oh, Obama, oh shoot, let me just trip on over there. Let me get a little." Let me, for real, because if you be like, dude, come on, man. And guess what? They didn't even have to even say nothing about what dude said about them dead monkeys. They put on their best outfit, went to the All-Star game like nothing ever happened, and everybody was on their jock. Nobody on your jock, fam. Nobody like your pale self.
Oh man, what did Jay-Z say? You know, you gotta, some things, man,
Gotta
you
brush
don't
it off
even.
his shoulders.
Yeah, you don't even like we were more upset about it than the Obamas was.
Yeah, we were. We was. Man, come on, fam.
Yeah, I mean, but but it says something about this dude, and I don't know.
And his character is. I mean, even his character alone makes you don't even want to vote for dude. His character alone, not alone you for you to be a coon, call a radio station with coon vibes, and stutter with your coon vibes, but then try to defend your coon vibes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Lord have mercy. Well, I be hating the coons the coons be calling your radio show, man.
Well, we
I'm
don't
telling you.
we don't personalize it. But so what I would do is say coonish. WB.
Black is but coonish.
Coonish. Kind of coonish. What was it? Who was describing Whitney Houston as crackish?
Was that Kevin Hart?
Yeah, she's crackish.
She's crackish.
Well, yeah, okay, let's put it this way. We're gonna call them that Dave Chappelle skit. You be like, oh, you know, I'm sorry about you niggas. You know how you niggas is about y'all chicken.
Oh, chicken. Woo-wee. I love me some chicken.
He said, I told you, wait, did I tell you about the niggas? I told you about
Yeah, and then right out yesterday, because I guess, and boy, I'm looking, every time I look at Kennedy now, I said, you too?
Well, what'd she say?
She's in the Greenfield school system.
Oh,
You too?
no. Hey, she gonna be asking you, Poppy. Now,
There
what
you go.
is the
Every
name
time
of
you get
the
ask me a
move,
question, and you go, Poppy, I'm going, oh boy.
Here comes the question.
Here come the question. Oh,
Here come the question.
yeah, because right out yesterday did ask a fascinating question.
Make it say,
Yeah, what happened to those two chickens?
yeah.
Hey, Kennedy gonna ask you why the moon and the sun up at the same time.
Right. Oh, what was Keon's thing about? Oh, the sun doesn't set and the sun doesn't rise. You know, that was him being scientifically deep. And then you had to explain to him, dude, it's metaphorical. Of course the sun doesn't rise. We rotate. But oh man, he thought he was on a deep point then. I'd be going like, come on, man.
Hey, but Arizona, Arizona, can you answer this question?
Here we go, man. Here come the Greenfield coming out. Come on now, man.
It was the question that I asked yesterday. Now, was there black people on the boat with Noah? Because if there was black people on the boat with Noah, where did what happened to the two chickens?
Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. Yeah. And what was his name? Hold on. This is
guess what? Us Negroes is in the back of the boat.
No. What was his name?
Noah?
Ham.
Okay, so it was black people on the boat.
I'm done.
You know, it's black people on the boat. The chicken was in the air. You smell it. You in the air.
They fried that joker.
And they baked it. They barbecued it.
Like Bubba. You can bake it. You can barbecue it. You can fry it. You can sick and free it.
They done stuffed it.
They figured out what to do with it within that 40 days.
But you know, we did a little something on this. You know, fried chicken goes way back. We fried chicken in Africa. You know, it was one of those things where people oiled in a different way to fried chicken. As a matter of fact, I had fried chicken last night.
Man, whoever came.
So okay. Oh, I got me Friday since it's Thursday. You know, Thursday throwback. So do you want Popeyes? You want Churches? You want KFC? Who you picking?
Churches back in the day. Yep, Churches back in the day.
You gotta do Churches back in the day.
Yes, sir. The late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna throw this last one in there because this one I would pick. I want the Ponderosa bag wings, the ones that
me and my buddy
Ponderosa
just talking about that.
Listen, my family, D will probably tell you, it was about 93 of us. We put Ponderosa out of business. Because every Sunday.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm gonna tell you why you didn't put it on business. Because COVID put Ponderosa out of business out there in Hereford. That was the last one.
My mama and them used to take bags and put it in their purse and put that chicken.
Oh, dude, I used to get the 25 wing bag.
Yeah, Doc.
Yeah, I told you the 25 wing bag, man.
My buddy was just talking about because we were trying to remember. We were talking about the ground round, and then we got to Ponderosa. And he was saying there was one on Brown Deer.
It was one on Brown Deer.
But the one I went to was the one on Mayfair Road.
Yeah, it was one on Mayfair Road.
Mayfair Road.
Brown Deer, like 60th and Brown Deer, like in that complex.
Oh, those wings, dude. That's all I ate. They said they had a good steak. I don't know.
Me neither, because it was so good.
All right.
The last one was it was in Hartford. It was COVID that shut it down, but it was in Hartford.
Yeah.
But last year here in Phoenix, you won't believe what they just closed down.
What?
It was Sizzler.
Oh, Sizzler. I remember Sizzler.
Yeah.
We going to Sizzler. We going to Sizzler.
All right, man.
I remember Sizzler.
All right.
I appreciate you. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Peace, brothers.
Hey, what's up, brother?
I was calling with a serious topic.
Oh, come on.
Can you hear me okay?
Come on, man.
Mike?
Come on, man. What's happening, man?
All of this joviality.
Joviality.
I cited you in my homily Sunday.
You know, you invited me and I couldn't make it. I had my grandsons.
Right.
And that presents some challenges in and of itself.
Okay. Yeah.
When they're 9 and 11. I know y'all have youth church or children's church.
Yeah, we do that second Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the reason I called is about your comment related to Trump administration, Republicans, and this whole notion of white supremacy that I oftentimes try to help us to recognize. Every time we say that word, we give life to it. And it's a myth. It's a misnomer. It is a oxymoron. It is really white insecurity. Because you have to we keep in mind that Jim Crow was in effect for 100 years.
Yep.
And it was essentially a nepotism policy. It was DEI. It was all of those things to give them, the privilege that is still going on. But when you don't want to compete and still call yourself the best, you have to recognize that there's a problem psychologically there. And that's what it comes down to is that these people don't want you to have the same opportunities and options, because if you do, you will far exceed what they've done. You look at what we've been able to do with all of the hurdles and all of the obstacles and all of the things that they've inflicted upon us. That 100-yard head start in a 200-yard race, or however you want to, frame it. It is something that that's a place where I'm trying to find the right word, but then it doesn't exist. Keith, I know you got it. You make up words all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
It's my gift. You can't think of one, make up one. I mean, it's what do you call it? It's wordsmithing with a certain level of creativity. But no, I'm not arguing that, and I hope that's not how it's coming across, that white folks are superior. I'm arguing from a caste system perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that there's a caste and there's a hierarchy. And that hierarchy is based on complexion. I'm glad that Michelle talked about that race is a construct. Race is not biological. Race is something that was used to create a caste system, a monetary caste system, that then allowed a certain group of people who looked a certain way, who were resourced a certain way, to appropriate lands and then appropriate bodies to work that land. I loved hearing this, brother. I had not, and it's a term I'm going to start using more when he says First Nation people, when he talks about the indigenous people here in America. So no, I'm not, I reject that. But at the same time, I do not subscribe to black superiority. What I'm saying is that when we use those terms, right, it becomes like, we've been arguing about what to call ourselves since we got here, right? Because we go from Negro to colored to black to Afro-American. And one of my favorite ones is New World Africans, descendants of enslaved Africans. And because we do not have that direct linkage to our ancestral land, then, we have to then go in and now some folks have been able to go back. Many of us have not.
Well, you want to identify with something.
Right. And you should be able to define yourself. But
absolutely.
But it seems that sometimes what we use to define ourselves are either inaccurate, right? Or they can be used to, so I will use black as a shorthand, being lazy in conversation, I do refer to us as descendants of enslaved Africans, because that's in effect what we are. And I understand now that there's these people who want to talk about those of us who are part of the United States, but they are descendants of enslaved Africans all throughout the Western Hemisphere, right?
Absolutely.
And so even that discussion, because even we had discussion around reparations, then we're trying to figure out, well, then who then should get who should be eligible for it? Most of us are saying, well, you need to show that you are that you are a descendant of an enslaved African. But what about the free Africans who were here?
Right, but when you add, I mean, if you add to that, who was going to pay the reparations? Because then you could essentially look around the globe for those who should be contributing to that monetary fund.
Right.
Because, the enslaved Africans have been spread all over the globe.
Yes.
But, the fact is that we are the original people of the globe. So, we really don't have a homeland, because the whole planet, we could essentially consider to be our homeland.
Yeah, but African culture says that no one owns the land.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And indigenous culture says that no one owns the land. This idea of land ownership is Eurocentric, right? We have a responsibility, and those are the people. And that's why I tell us, descendants of enslaved African people, we had a concept of God long before we even got to America. And this idea that even our concept of God, and one of those things was the importance of stewardship of the land that God has gifted us with. And that where you had others who said that, no, you can own the land, you can exploit the land. Part of what Dr. Who's my guy? Carter, Peanut guy.
George Washington Carver.
George Washington Carver, thank you. The Peanut guy. Was talking about, well, he was coming up with different ways to use the land because they had so, They had so depleted the land because of growing cotton exclusively. And they were coming up with different crops to go in and say, you need to give the earth a break. But when you're looking at exploitation, again, folks, let me say this. I'm pushing this. Please watch the Uncle Tom documentary on Prime. There's some things in there that I did not know. One of those things was land. And this is why when people in the North, they said no, because part of it was you could take a mortgage out on an enslaved African like you could take a mortgage out on land. So that means that banking was part of that. So when you hear people saying that America was built upon slavery, it is, because that early piece of it, especially when it became dependent on things like cotton and tobacco, it was African people who was working that land. But they said something in this documentary that just to prevent escape, one of the things they did was they would not allow you to learn how to read, right? The second thing was
insecurity.
Yeah, but here's the other piece. They didn't let you learn how to swim. When I heard that, and I look at how we have this real, seems like we have this real antipathy to swimming, was that so if you escape and you hit water, if you learn how to swim, you could swim across the creek, right? So it was like all these things that you put in place, and it was for profit, y'all. It was for economic exploitation.
And take advantage. That's right.
Yeah. And
again, it goes back to the insecurity to me.
Oh, and by the way, y'all, is it some more? Her comedy, her stand-up is fire, dude. It is one of the funniest I've heard in a while. So you get a chance. Yeah, she is. Oh my gosh. It was, normally, because I can be real condescending, right? Man, she had me. I laughed for the whole hour and a half. It's good. It is good. But she had one particular insight that, and that's what comedians do, right? And she was talking about how the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar. And he said all the young people was like, man, you didn't get the subliminals? You didn't get the subliminals? It's like he was saying this and he was doing this. You didn't get the subliminals? She said, so let me get this straight. You picking up all these subliminals in Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, but you didn't peruse 2025? You sit up there looking at subliminals and you got concrete right in front of you and you never bothered to read the concrete? Oh, man, she is good. It was funny, man. It had me like, okay, I needed that. I needed that because sometimes in the pain, all you can do is laugh. That's all you can do, man. I mean, it's just like, am I going to cry? Am I going to laugh? But, man, it's good.
Well, when we know the truth, we set free. So,
but you got to want to know the truth.
Well, it'll slap you in your face.
Yeah, well.
And then you can't ignore it.
And sometimes we want to avoid the truth because in knowing the truth, freedom comes with responsibility. My mom used to say that all the time. She said, black people want to be free, but you got to be responsible with the freedom. Say,
now that you know it, what you going to do with it?
Right. And that's the question that white boat pilot asked Josiah Henson. He basically said, are you going to be good with your freedom? And he made the promise, I will be. So again, y'all watch it, man. It is, I'm telling you, you're going to walk away. First of all, you have a different take on that term, Uncle Tom, but then you'll also get a real sense of what people were dealing with when enslavement and decisions people had to make based on survival. And that's the piece that we miss in all of this. See, we can sit back in our 21st century. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't did that. If you're trying to live, you'll be surprised at the things you will do in order to survive.
I have one last thing to add, and that is let's be careful about the measure of truth we apply to what the white media and even what white scholars have documented over the years.
All right.
Because they really haven't changed. They still want to keep you confused and off track in most of the things that they, have written or will, promote to the public. To keep themselves in an advantage position.
All right. And let me say this as I go to break. I find it interesting that we're so concerned about white people's feelings, but indigenous folks and black folks and Latino folks, they could care less about our feelings. Do you think that any of us are really happy about enslavement? Come on, man. All right. You listen to Community Voice.
All
right, man. Listen to Community Voice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. joined in studio by Miss Linda Conyers. Mother Moultrie, your first name? I don't.
Dr. Shirley.
Dr. Shirley Moultrie. Good morning. And she and Jermaine were having a conversation, found out where they knew each other. So let me shout out her fine pastor.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Oh man, my fellow alum there, Pastor Fred Brothers. Yes, sir. The American Baptist.
Yeah.
He is my pastor's. That's my pastor's buddy.
Man, preaching machine too.
Yeah, that's my pastor's buddy there. I was. But I won't tell the story. Somebody said. So anyway, they're here to talk about this year's Black Excellence Award.
Yes, we are. We are embarking on our 41st annual Black Excellence Awards. The event will take place next Friday, February the 27th at the Baird Center. And we're excited to present to our community the distinguished honorees. 3 of our special honorees are from the Green Bay Packers, and that's Leroy Butler, Antonio Freeman, and Gilbert Brown. And we're excited to present them because from what we were told, we're probably the first Black organization in the city of Milwaukee to honor these great giants in the field of football, really of any sport. So we're excited to present them next week. As well, we're going to honor 9 African American men from TV, that are TV anchors from the 4 TV networks here in the city. That's Channel 12, Channel 4, Channel 6, and Channel 58. And there are 9 African American men providing news to our community every day. And for the first time, these men will be honored together and we will present them to the community. I've lived here all my life, about 70 years. And this is historic for me because growing up here in Milwaukee in the late 50s and the 60s and 70s, we didn't see Black men on TV giving the news. And I am elated to present these gentlemen to our community. And they have done a lot for our community and have changed the tone of information that we're receiving. And I am just really pleased to do what we're going to do next week.
Yeah, and it's because again, growing up here all my life, you're right in terms of who I think Bill Taylor, right?
Bill Taylor was really one of the first and the last news anchors we've had.
Mm-hmm.
And just to this day, we have 9.
Yeah. And many of them are part of the Black Journalists Organization that I'm a part of. So what made you this year that category in terms of acknowledging these Black men who are on television?
Well, I have an awesome committee, and we come up with a theme every year. I have Dr. Moultrie, which I'm going to give her an opportunity to speak about the banquet. And this year we decided to focus in on Black males and Black males in professional fields that are usually not highlighted in our community. I've had a very good relationship with Channel 12 for about 30 years because they've been our media sponsor for our event. And I worked with Jared Jordan, and he's a wonderful gentleman from Chicago. And we've had a good relationship in the past 5 years. And I felt that it was time to recognize him because you don't come across many Black men in the field of journalism. And journalism at this time, this field is under attack, as you can see what's going on where in politics, where we're seeing Black journalists are being attacked. I think about Don Lemon, and he was arrested several weeks ago trying to cover a story. So this is not, our theme did not just come about 2 weeks ago. We planned this event 10 months ahead. So we were well aware of our plan 10 months ago. But I mentioned Don Lemon because I see what's going on every day in the news media.
Dr. Moultrie?
Yes, and I agree. We have to be determined that no matter what negativity we experience, we believe that God has given us the skills and essentially the right to do good as He expects
Mhm.
of us. And race is not going to keep us from moving forward. And we have to set examples for those who come behind us. So I commend and congratulate Miss Linda Jackson Conyers on the Black Excellence Award. And I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
This goes back to say 41 years, and so your late husband Nate Conyers and Miss Lavinia Johnson. Am I correct?
That's correct. Mrs. Johnson established the scholarship program along with my husband, Nathan Conyers, and Luther Golden. They were the founders and owners of the Milwaukee Times newspaper. So these three media giants saw a need to, first of all, provide positive information to our community. And then they wanted to also record the history of local historians. And that's how the Black Excellence came about. And then Mrs. Johnson said she wanted to give back to the community financially. So she started the scholarship with her Social Security check over 30 years ago. And this fundraiser, our event is a fundraiser, and we provide scholarships to students. And we've given out close to about $1 million in the last 33 years. And we're excited to assist 12 students this year and previous years with their career goals. And it's important that we encourage our children to get an education. It's needed more so now than ever. And we see how technology is changing daily. We now have AI sitting, in our community. It's what AI is part of our life now, and we need to prepare our kids for technology because AI is not going away. It's going to be with us, and we need to prepare our kids for technology so that they can compete and be a part of this system that's going to control our lives for the rest of our life.
I agree.
And I, as I was sitting here and I just ruminating in my mind, Black in excellence, and how I know that was conscious and intentional in terms of that, because as Dr. Moultrie was saying, in spite of, we have still been able to achieve excellence.
Yes.
And I think that you have the people that you selected are examples of excellence. Now, did I hear this wrong? But are we also recognizing Andrew Ward?
Say that again.
Yes.
We are.
Yes, Andrew Ward.
Dr.
is,
Andrew Ward.
Ward is one of the award recipients.
I know he's a regular call-in
Yes.
here at
Yes,
this radio station.
yes.
Dr. Ward, are you out there? Go ahead and call. I'm waiting for you. We're waiting for your call.
We had an opportunity to have a conversation with Antonio Freeman.
Okay.
And Antonio is from Baltimore.
Yes.
And but he talked, I think his mom is a school teacher, or was, if she's still. And he talked about how, as great an athlete he was, his mom put him in. I think he was a Poly's girl, so he would have been either Western or Poly. That in Baltimore, they used to have the boys' high school, girls' high school of excellence. His mom put him in there, and then she was like Virginia Tech because of his engineering program. Mm-hmm. And when he was having this conversation, he kept saying, "Yeah, man, I was an athlete, but for my mom, it was always the books." Yes. And we don't get a sense of that where people are talking about, because I know that was the rule in my house, no books, no play, you know, in terms of the importance of education. But I appreciate this idea. We have to learn. It is learning. I was telling them about a documentary I watched, and it was purposeful that enslaved Africans were never taught to read.
Right.
That's true.
They were not. They were forbidden.
Forbidden, right?
It was against the law.
Against the law, and part of that was the Bible says, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Mm-hmm. That whole idea of learning and how we need to continue that, and so just being able to people to see examples of that. You know, for younger people to be able to see examples of excellence, I think it gives you something to aspire to.
I think so.
I think it's important for us to know our history.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel that we have a responsibility as community leaders to make sure that this generation and the next generation have access to that information. Because if you don't know what your ancestors have done, and what their trials and tribulations, then you're subject to repeat what they've gone through and what they fought for. Just to lose the great leader Jesse Jackson, and the first Black man to run for the presidential position in this country. And this, I was at awe to be alive to experience this and to see him on TV and the contributions that he has made and what he went through just to get his name on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a classic example of determination and discipline. No matter how many obstacles that faced him, he fought. And he got it done.
He opened the door.
Absolutely.
He paved the way for President Obama. And I don't think we should ever forget that.
And Obama gives him credit for that too.
So, and for him, it's Black History Month. Yes. It's Shirley Chisholm.
Yes.
First Black woman.
Yes. And so
Kamala Harris.
Yes. And I think, we it is history. I've made a point here lately, and I think part of it is just what I'm doing here on the radio. But every year I'm learning something I did not know.
No.
Every year, and I want to go back to last year. And I'll be 100% transparent here. I used to, when it was time to do Lift Every Voice and Sing, they say, "Here we go. Let's get through it." And then once I was at an event, and I actually began to read the words.
Yes.
Not just because we just sing and get through it. And I went like, what a powerful piece of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a whole new appreciation. So now I do all three. And
now that's what I love. I really don't appreciate when we have to only sing one verse.
Mhm.
Let's sing all three
Mhm.
verses.
Right.
All three verses have distinct meaning.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if we would listen, we would actually learn something. The more you listen to it, all three verses, the more you say, this is powerful.
Yes.
And this is what we should carry in our mindset and share it with children or anyone else that we come in contact
Someone
with.
had given my goddaughter a gift certificate for Barnes and Noble. So I took her to Barnes and Noble. And she is, and I really encourage this because of people like Katherine Johnson,
Mhm.
where she is really good with math. I mean, she has a schematic mind. She thinks already at 6, very, very. And so she was going find. She went and found her math book. That was the first thing he did. I was like, I'm impressed. And then she went and found there's some children's books out there, this whole series she knew about. And then we were going, and then now she's in her element because she's around books. And so she goes, and she was running past. I said, hey, here's a book on Dr. King.
Mhm.
She said, okay, I'll take the book. All right, I'll take it. And then she went back on. My point is that we put those books in her hand
Yes.
because even though I want you to be a mathematician, you need to understand your history. You know, what as young people say, for the culture, right? And there's another book she's reading. She's read by Raphael Warnock called Leo's Lunchbox, which is and then one last thing in terms of me. Every day we do a book that we suggest that people read for Black History Month.
Oh, great.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I mean, I
That
think
is right.
you just take the time to read, and we learn every day. So this is going to be on the 27th, Friday.
Friday, February 27th.
Are tickets still available?
Tickets are available, a limited number. And I'm going to give you my phone number, but I have also left my phone number at the desk here at this great radio station, WNOV. But it's 414-467-0847. 414-467-0847. And we guarantee, Shirley and I, along with our committee, you will have a wonderful evening and you will get a chance to be proud that you are African Americans here in the city of Milwaukee and to read the bios that have been written on all the honorees that we're going to be honoring Friday night, as well as making and blessing 12 young people with scholarships to help them achieve their career goal. And Shirley, you want to make a comment?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's really important for our young people to see who their people are getting honored, to let them know while it may not be in the history books, it still exists. We have contributed much to the building and foundation of this country. And I'm appreciative to be part of Black Excellence because it shows that in Milwaukee, there are people who are making differences every day. Our young people need to see that, that just being cute is not enough. You want to develop your goals and aspirations so that you too can make a distinct difference in the community, whether it's Milwaukee community or wherever you reside to be. You're going to take your God-given talents and make a difference in this world because we need it.
The Black Excellence, talk much, Keith. The Black Excellence Awards, that will be February 27th at the Barrett Center. Again, just an august group of people who are being recognized for their contributions to the community. And it also benefits 12 young people who will receive scholarships this year. Let me thank Ms. Linda Conyers. Let me thank Dr. Shirley Moultrie.
Mm.
Again, Black Excellence. Give them that number one more time if they're interested in tickets.
Area code 414-467-0847. 414-467-0847. We look forward to seeing you next week and helping us celebrate our history and our people and our contributions in this community.
And to God be the glory for
Always.
all that he has done and is still doing.
You're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Parris.
All right, welcome back. And again, the Black Excellence Award, 41 years. Man, that's a long time, man. That's pretty much describing my life right now, Debo. Long time. Long time. You be remembering stuff, man, and people go like, man, you taking me back, man. You
As I was just telling the ladies, she was asking what school I attended. I told her I went to Whitman in Wauwatosa, and I said that was 1979. And that sounded like a long time ago, man.
Well, Miss Conyers was a classmate of my uncle at Riverside back in the day.
Well, she was a teacher at Miss Shirley. There was a teacher at Parkman.
Is that right?
Yeah. So she was there. She said, "What school did you?" I said, "I told her I went to Parkman." She said, "Mr. Belcher was there," because she asked me about the administrator.
Mr. Belcher. That was your guy, wasn't it?
No, I didn't like Belcher.
You like Belcher?
I don't even think Belcher would. He probably don't remember that phase in his life, man. He stayed so.
You know who my mama really loved?
Wasted.
And it was because when mama like a white person, they must be something, because my mama would be pretty tough on white people. But she loved Mr. Woody. Mr.
Really?
Woody was gone before I think you got there, but
Yeah.
she loved Mr. Woody, big guy.
Yeah.
She loved Mr. Woody, man. And George Hughes, I don't know if he was still there when you were there.
Recall.
I think by that time, I think he was
I
down
don't
in
remember
Garfield.
any of the teachers there for some reason or another.
No, he was
they
an
don't just-
administrator.
Yeah, they just don't jump out at me.
Was Daddy Douglas still there?
No.
Who'd you have?
Belcher. That's all I ever met was Belcher.
Okay. Because Lafayette Golden ended up coming over, becoming principal there.
That's like a blank phase in my life. I hated that school. I got dumped there because I got ran out of Tulsa.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I
I tell the story. It's Black History Month. I wanted to go to Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go to school with the white kids. I wanted to go to Marshall. And my mama, being blacker than black,
black,
right?
Black.
And she knew Mr. Douglas from when he was down at Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "No, I'm sending you there." So, well, it wasn't Fulton,
Right.
and I said, "Okay." So I had to learn another address because that was an.
I remember the story. You had to use your kinfolks.
Yeah, had to use an address. Miss Gertie used her address, and because back in the day, in order to support the segregation system, Milwaukee had these districts that you lived in, and so your junior high school was your feeder to the high school that you had to go to. So I didn't live in the Parkman King district. I lived in the Fulton. It's the Fulton King district. So I was supposed to be
Fulton North or Fulton King,
because there's maybe half the student body at Fulton went to King. The other half went to North.
Okay.
Right. So, those folks who live with us in that Burleigh area, Ernell Lucas and all those folks, that was the Fulton folks who went to King. I would have been going to King. And then there were other people who ended up going to North.
so very few would have ended up at Riverside because of
No,
proximity.
and there was also the Riverside group, because the Riverside group was my uncle.
Okay.
And my uncle, because they lived on First and Wright, but it was the way my uncle had to transfer in because, and I don't know, it was so interesting because like in the middle of the block, they cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
So those people, or maybe Clark was the cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
So people who lived south of Clark had to transfer into, because they would have gone to Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to transfer. So my uncle transferred into Riverside. Yeah. And it was, but I'm going to say this, and I always shout it out. One of the best experiences I had in my life was at Parkman. And I say this in terms of me embracing who I am as a descendant of an African
Now that part,
slave.
That part I'll give you because I remember going to the malt shop.
Best French fries ever.
Yeah, absolutely,
Ever.
absolutely. The chicken joint around here,
Flips.
it's been gone. Yeah,
Flips.
Yeah,
His son was at Parkman.
there was another little black-owned store
Rusty
right there,
Gibson.
off Keefe and like, as you were heading towards Titonia, right there. So it was like a,
The
bunch of-
Skillet.
yeah,
The Bungalow.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, so many black businesses. The Mallets were even over there still.
No, it was the Wades then.
All right,
it was Wades.
The Wades is the Mallets. They
The
the same
Mallet,
people.
he married one of the
Yeah,
Wade
yeah,
sisters,
them
right?
Same people. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Wade's was, boy, it's Throwback Thursday. The first time I think I ever had now and laters, I got from Wade's.
Wow.
When the first, boy, I don't know how anybody had teeth with those now and laters, dude. You try to suck them so they get soft.
Yeah.
Dude, man, that was the hardest piece of candy ever. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning to you, brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been on hold for a while. I thought I was gonna miss you. Y'all kept kicking me out of queue, and I was wondering. I said, why they keep kicking me out of queue? But it's okay. Hey, listen. You were talking about cursing in the Bible yesterday, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Now I'm just digressing a little bit, if you allow me. And you said, well, does it say anything about cussing? Or did Jesus talk about homosexuality in the Bible? And where did all of that stuff actually coming from? You know. But if you look at Timothy, the second chapter, and I was on hold yesterday, really trying to get in, because Second Timothy, it talks about, it says shun profane and vain babbling. That throws you into the cursing field. That tells you about the cursing right there. Paul talked to Timothy about it.
No.
Shun profane.
Hey, hold on just a moment. That word curse is something else. Cursing is something else.
Well, cursing is really when you casting a curse on somebody. You ever heard somebody say, "I'm gonna fix you"? When they say, "I'm gonna fix you," that don't mean I'm gonna get back at you. It means fix, like a two-finger witch type deal. You know, a fix is when the fix is on. You know, I'll fix you. Well, we think that just means I can pay you back, but that's not what that really means. That's a hex. That's a ritual when a person says fix. So when you say curse is really a hex. However, we'll get into this right here, right quick, because I know I got to go.
So just so we clearly understand, this idea of graphic language and what we call profanity. Profanity is different than cursing. Cursing is a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something.
I just said all of that.
No, well, listen, let me finish. Whoa. So to cuss somebody out to curse is not necessarily using profane language. What it is it's wishing something negative on a person. You know, like that famous "a pox on your house." That's a curse.
It's two different things, Keith.
Right. So the question becomes this use of what we call profanity or graphic language, or for some people,
that's not real cursing. That we called it that.
But that was our question yesterday about using profanity, and we talked about how with black folks we use this term, "I'm gonna cuss you out." Well, cussing you out is something that we do, but cussing you out is basically going at you, and the language that I use going at you.
But that's not real cursing.
Right. To curse is to say.
That's not real cursing. That's what I
hope your mama died. That's a curse. Or
that's a curse. And people do it in church.
Or the mark,
charismatic.
Right. Noah cursed Ham. Not God. Noah cursed Ham.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Yes. Why did he curse?
Well, for whatever reasons, he cursed him. All I'm saying is
because he saw his father's nakedness.
Okay, well, he did that, and then because Ham was the darkest of his three sons, then people said, well, then that means that was all African people, all dark people.
No, brother. We go. Okay, so the curse of Noah was because he looked up on his father's nakedness. Now, that don't mean that he seen his daddy drunk and he looked at his daddy butt naked. That means that he got at his wife, one of his wives. When you look up on a person's nakedness, that means you done had sex with. He went and got his.
Just use an example of a curse. All right. So what?
Okay, but do you understand what I'm saying?
So what's your position? So anyway, your position is not to use profanity, right?
Okay. Well, profanity is vain babbling. It's vain babbling, man. It's not a curse like a curse. But we've used that. We've interchanged. It's sort of like we've interchanged adultery and fornication. Well, you can't stone a person for adultery no more. So we bred it with we can't stone a person for adultery, so we interlooped it with fornication. So now you got the people say fornication and adultery the same thing.
Can you stone anybody for fornication?
Well, not in this country. But okay. you suppose that's what you supposed to got stoned for. Okay, adultery. God never gave you.
Let me ask you a question. Divorce. In terms of your knowledge of antiquity as it relates to the Bible, who would get stoned for adultery, men or women?
Well, women would get stoned, but if a man was caught and charges was brought up on him, they're gonna do him too. If they get him before
how often were charges just based on how often was charges brought against a man?
Because this is the reason why the woman was brought before the same stone. Because when she went into it, first of all, adultery is not the way we look at it today. Today, fornication, you only got a chance to divorce through fornication. That means premarital sex. That means when you got with that damsel and she said, I'm a virgin, I ain't never been had and you go into bridegroom, take her into a tent or a room, wherever they went. He laid out a quilt, a napkin, and he would have sex with that lady. And breaking the virginity, it would leave some sort of fluid or vaginal bleeding.
Where you going with this, Mitch? Where you going with this? Where you going
I'm gonna go with the fornication, man. Why you always funny? This ain't nothing.
I got other callers waiting. I got other people waiting. So what's your point?
Sorry. Well, that's why I was going with the profane and vain babbling. We wound up over there. And something else you talked about this morning about the about black folk and how they're turning and getting rid of all of the DEI and all of this kind of stuff, and we ought to be very upset. I am very upset. But the reason why it seems like black folk are being attacked because we've allowed something to attach itself to us and it's eating our culture like a cancer. And we have allowed it to happen. And these people are so smart. Now they're going to get the black women.
What is that? What is that?
Brother, you know what it is.
No, I'm asking you. What is
it's homosexuality.
All right, appreciate
it's lesbianism.
Okay, all right. Caller, welcome to the program. Help me, Black Jesus. Good morning.
Please help me. Good morning, Keith, Debo, and Jermaine. Keith, I had a quick question for you. You mentioned some more. One of my favorite comedians, but does she have a new special that you watch?
It's on Netflix. Just dropped.
What's the name of it?
It is what was it? It's something Chandelier. Oh, Chandelier Fly. Chandelier Fly. Okay. Yeah.
She had another one previously. I think it was called Chandelier.
This one is, it is, and like I said, I got a high threshold when it comes to what I think is comedy now. Oh man, but she had me I was almost in tears. She was so funny, man.
Well, I love her. She's like one of my favorites, you know. And let me just ask you before I let you go. There was a place, I think it was over there by Robert Fulton or Fulton. It was called Hamps. Did you ever remember Hamps?
Hamps Hash House?
Yeah, Hamps.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Man. He had some of the best burgers ever.
The burgers, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, built up in that little hill up, and it was really interesting. I was kind of built right there on Center Street, across the street from Casey's.
Yeah, man. All them burgers, man.
Y'all won't remember. Well, Keith, you may remember. Caller, do you remember the charcoal pit?
Oh man, you know,
over there on, was that 27?
Yeah.
Okay.
The charcoal pit on 27, just off Fond du Lac and Center, right in that area.
He had to die of cancer.
Anybody that sat in there,
he had to, man.
You come out there smelling.
Hey, I'm gonna hang up and let somebody else get in. All right, y'all take it.
You walked out and smelled like that joint, but he had. Yeah. And then let's shout out Posey's.
Where were they located?
Posey's was right there. You know where Way Across is?
Uh-huh.
There's a building right there.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I used to go there as a kid.
Right. And then she went over, it was, I think they called her Mama. She was cooking for Steve's.
Okay.
Over there on Center. Is that Steve? What was right there on Center across the street from North?
I don't remember.
Yeah. And then
it was a restaurant right there?
That was a bar.
Oh, you talking about yeah. what is it? Steve's last name?
Yeah,
Wilson, the Wilson Club.
Wilson Club.
Yeah.
And she cooked there, and then his son then opened Center Street Fish.
Okay.
And then they did. So, oh man, do I want to get a burger from Center Street?
Yeah, they started doing those burger platters.
Yeah, because they, my friends who went to North said, "Oh man, you got to go to Posey's. You got to go to Posey's." I went over there, had that burger. I said, "I sure do have to go to Posey's." And let me do some Black history, y'all.
Did they tear that little building down, or is it still
no? The
standing?
building's still there.
Okay.
Building's still there. But let me shout out Mr. Robert Bobby Thomas. He used to have a chain of restaurants here called Robbie's. Yeah, and there was a Robbie's right there now where the post office parking lot is there on Teutonia. There was a Robbie's. If you go on King Drive, there used to be a place, used to be a store there called Nationals, and then they built, it's like this little mall, and you would go down. So at the end, he had a little stand there, and then I forgot, right there, either where Hook's Fish is there on 76 and Silver Spring, he had a Robbie's there. And then, of course, everybody knew the Ebony Q.
Is that Sharks, not Hooks? It's
Sharks, right. Whatever that little, but that's where his stand was. This was in the 60s, y'all. This was in the 60s.
Keith, I found the information on my phone that we were discussing. February 24th will be the viewing from 10 until noon.
This is from Mr. Lamar Franklin.
And then the services will start, funeral services will start at noon. This will all take place at Mount Zion. What is that, Missionary Baptist Church?
Yes, sir.
2207 North 2nd Street.
Yep.
So, yeah, those are the arrangements for
the
it.
24th is Wednesday?
I'm not certain. I'm not looking at a calendar.
Let me pull it up.
I think it is. It's either
Tuesday or Wednesday? Well, I'll be able to get there. So
Yeah, 24th is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Okay, cool.
So again, that's for Mr. Lamar Franklin. I think it's ironic, man, that they just completed the building that they named after him too. So
yeah, and he was there. I think he was there for the dedication, right?
Yeah,
he did the dedication. So good dude, man. Like
it's gonna be rare to see him or not see him
without Ben and Mac.
Yeah, Mac Weddle and him was like glued to the hip.
And Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Those they were my guys though, man. So they would get me, and I'd be like, man, truly, there are people. You know, we need to celebrate our history, and we just so many. I mentioned. I don't know if I got a chance to mention it in my message, but I talked about that for 200 consecutive days. From 1967 to 1968, April of 1968, people marched across the 16th Street Viaduct. They did open housing marches, and the hostility they met crossing that viaduct.
Was that with Father Grappy?
With Father Grappy, Brother Hook.
Yeah, Vel Phillips was involved in that.
Right, Vel Phillips was, that was the NAAC Youth Council that later became the Commandos.
Yeah, that was with Prentice McKinney and all of those folks. Yeah.
Right.
See, I know a little something, man. You can't lose me.
You know a little something. Know your history.
Yeah, he can't complete that. Look at him over there.
Man, because I keep trying to get the band, but the band won't show up. And then they all showing up. They all out in the car. I'm like, dude, we got rehearsal. Y'all get out the car.
Doing the cousin walk.
Yeah, doing the cousin walk. Like, I know you're trying to get right, but just right out, you were at this funeral.
Yes, sir.
I won't call any names, but I'll tell the story. So there's a young lady who, at her funeral, she's gone home to glory. One of the more talented.
Oh, I'm sorry, Keith. Before we move past it, I've been sending an updated to the funeral arrangements for Lamar.
Okay.
So the viewing will now be from 9 until 11 a.m.
Okay.
Instead of noon, and then the service will start at 11 a.m.
Okay, then I need to get out.
Everything else was correct as far as the address and so forth, but the time has been again changed. Viewing from 9 until 11, and then the services will start at 11 a.m.
I'll be able to get out of here. Can I leave a little early to go?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, I'll be joining you.
Okay. We were talking about Juneteenth yesterday, and Candy. Am I hearing? Are the rumors correct? Right out is going to be part of the parade this year.
Yes.
Is those rumors?
That's tentative.
Is
That's
that
I want to drop the news right now here on Keith Parris Show that I will be a part.
Every time we went back to the station, we flip it back and be so chilly.
Dark and quiet.
And it's just like, oh man. Well, hopefully we'll stage on time this year, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know how that. Somebody got their times crossed up last year.
No, there was a couple other things too, right? Change of ownership.
Right.
Yeah, so there was some other things. But the year before, there was a change of ownership, and we still.
We can't never seem to get that part right, man.
And Debo have us here at 5 a.m.
Well, you're trying to hand out shirts and
right. And I would have to go down, set up our tent. For
your other gig.
For my other gig, and then come back here. I'd be ready to go. And some always happen, man. Was Michelle, she didn't do it this year either, did she?
What's that?
She went in the parade with us this year.
Well, she was working with at that time, Senator Taylor.
She was down to remote.
Oh no, she came late, but I'm saying for so many years she wasn't a part of it.
Right, because she would be setting up Lena's thing. All right, let me thank everybody for being part of the program today. Debo, thank you.
Thank you.
Jermaine, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let me thank Dr. Shirley Moultrie. Let me thank Ms. Linda Conyers. Callers, we thank you. The good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace.